about that. So basically, yeah, I just want to show you a little bit. So close from my hometown, there is Grenoble. Grenoble is quite well-known cities. Basically, Godard lived there when he was young. And there is basically one pilot school that changed completely the way to teach about fine arts in France. And Grenoble is part of it. So the interest of Grenoble, apart the fine art school, the education part, it's also, there is this place here, Le 102, that it's one of few spaces based on experimental music. And so here, when I was enrolled as a student in fine art, I just had a good education in terms of music and discovered a lot of things coming from around the world, especially a lot of Japanese improvisators, experimental people, etc., etc. So as you can see, it's very a small space. It looks like a garage, in fact. So here, I moved from there. I just went out to, after the fine arts school, I went up to the kind of grant residency program at Le Frénois, National Studio of Contemporary Arts in France. And right after that, I just decided to leave from France. And basically, I just fall in love with someone, and this person bring me in Vietnam. So now I'm based in Vietnam since 5 years, and oh, you cannot see anything. Super. Well, anyway, but when I arrived there in Vietnam, I started to teach, and I just figured out that a lot of my students were listening to some heavy metal, and I was very amazed about that in a way that for me it was 20 years ago, and listening to this kind of music. So basically, in Vietnam, actually, there is not really some electronic culture in terms of music, but it's really the way or the edge of the climax of metal music. A lot of bands are playing such music. There is not punk band, for example, like in China, that we can see what is interesting based on the situation, political situation of the country itself. In China, there is a lot of punk bands, but it does not really exist in Vietnam. Just metal, based on metal. So this brings me in a way that finally I've been reinjected into such culture, and I restarted to think in terms of it, but to use it to develop my own work here. So basically, I restarted to work with some bands, to play with bands, with Vietnamese band, and then my first solo exhibition in Vietnam. I will show you the nothing. So basically, when I arrived there, it got me some few time to meet some other people, some French people living there, based there. And then 1 year after my arrival, basically, I started to try to check around about the possibilities to make some exhibition. And because of Vietnam, you know about censorship is not easy. You have to be careful how to develop a work. But basically, I started with this here. It was organized by the French consulate in Ho Chi Minh City. And the idea, the main theme of the exhibition was called the fabricated image. So basically what I wanted to do is to work on this kind of fabrication of the image, and I invited a band to perform for the opening. But this band that I chose here, it was a bit tricky what I did, because I chose them because they were really into the image of the heavy metal band. so playing with all the clichés. And so basically it was an installation work, performance-based, where basically the performers didn't know about the main strategy behind the invitation for such show here. It will be better if you can see something. No? Okay. Thank you, internet. Thank you, technology. That is the reason why also I got back in time with analog stuff, because technology is great, but it never works.
Is it a Flash program?
No, no. It's not Flash at all, just a simple slideshow. About my work, if you are checking about the work that I developed, sometimes it's not easy to understand that this is coming from the same artist. And basically, I like to say that I really work based on the context and certain situation. I'm not a situationist, not at all, but I really like to work according to a specific situation. And basically, I like to develop a work according site-specific, for example. So here, just to have a view, if it works, it would be great. So this, it was really based on the main theme. Yeah, so basically here, the main gallery, it was the old place, old location of the Sun Art Gallery, independent art space in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City. And here there were a large window facing the street. And here, the first thing that I decided to do was how can I use this window to integrate it as part of the artwork. And basically I was thinking, okay, so we'll try to set up an installation where the people, they will have to choose which side they have to go. Is that outside or indoor? Indoor, outdoor? And basically the main element, it was, okay, because basically humans are curious, they want to look at something, and when there is something they want to have a look at it. The idea comes very in a simple way that I decided to use, okay, we will hide the band behind the sculpture, so the people, if they enter through the gallery, they will listen only to the music. If they want to see the band playing, they have to go outside. And what happened, basically, there were actually only one guy indoor. All people were outside. And the intent also, it was really interesting because a lot of people came up here. We used some smoking machine, some lightning effects, like a live show. And a lot of Vietnamese people stopped by with a motorbike. So basically, in a way that it started to have it was stuck, the traffic, until the police arrived. But it was part of the main idea of such performance here, to play with these kind of things, but without doing anything. As an artist, I just display, arrange some stuff. It's the people who complete the work. So that, after it becomes something by itself. So it was interesting. I don't have a lot of time. Just come back here. Just some explanation here, this work. It's a work that has been done in last June, 2011. Basically, it's a generator, power generator. It was a whole place, it was the whole French school in Ho Chi Minh City. And basically the French consulate wanted to organize something there. So here I just, site specific, I wanted to use this generator. And basically I just had some duct tape, black duct tape over it, in a way that I wanted, when I've seen that huge things, it makes me think of mammals. This kind of old animal. And basically I just wanted to add some kind of dreadlocks, you know, you have this kind of dreadlocks mammals. And especially, after some researches, I checked that this animal has lived somewhere in East Asia. So I was thinking, okay, so I can use that. It's not something like surrealistic or whatever, it's part of it, etc. But the main work here, it was, what we cannot hear, it was the sound that I just designed. It was a mix in between different breeds of animal. And basically, the artwork, it lived for one night only, and it was one night show. And basically, they were just making machine, and this kind of huge breath appearing, disappearing, like the animal was sleeping. So this is the main title here is called Untitled, The Fire in Our Throats Will Beckon to the Fall. And basically, this work has been developed according to, you know, just a few time ago, there were the nuclear disaster in Japan, and Vietnam are part of a program of nuclear energy in development for Vietnam. So it was, for me, it was the context at that time, this situation that made me develop this work when I've seen it, the generator, and the idea of this old technology, because for me the power generator, it's an old technology versus nuclear technology, new technology, and just to highlight and to point out a certain situation at that time, etc. Also, basically most of my new works is based on the Untitled to let it open for the people, but that provides certain direction. And most of the subtitles are coming from metal bands. And this is a title from Pelican, the band Pelican, here. And here, but the thing is also, the fire in our throats will beckon to the fore. There is something also, yeah, maybe this animal will wake up again, or is that the people will raise the voice? Well, I try to work with this kind of ambiguity within the title and to be a little bit subversive, but in an easy way, in a fine way, little bit. So I will just show you the last work that I produced in July, here. So it was my first solo exhibition in Gallery Queen. It's a contemporary art gallery based in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City. And here there is 2 floors. So I wanted to create kind of a huge installation. So here every work, or each work, is connected to each other. Even that we have no idea about that at first sight. The main title here, you can see it somewhere, it's a physical obedience of a certain geometry, and parenthesis, nihil sublime. So here it was this idea of an arrangement of objects, paintings, object, real object, lights, to provide a certain atmosphere in a way that at first sight, okay, it's kind of random process, we can display the information and this is it. But in fact, it was for me a good idea that to reveal the hidden part of the exhibition within the title itself, in a way that the whole exhibition has been developed according to the golden rectangle. So really a strict rules of geometry, and each placement of each artwork was really defined, very strict rules of placement. So here again, is this still this kind of idea through the